Welcome here today to the greatest of Kerfuffle showcases. Hello, Christopher Watkins. Hello, how are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Simon Whale. And I hope you are well today.
Look, I'm always well, you know that. Right up until the impending heart attack, stroke, mental breakdown, or whatever it is. Up until that point, everything's a bed of roses.
Well, I tell you what, we've got some bets on at the moment. Which one you're going to have? A triple heart bypass or a mental breakdown?
I've been defying that Deadpool for years. Bring it on. Bring it on. Right, Chris. This is going to be short and sharp, because normally on these showcase interviews, it's all about finding out the origin story, the full background. But it would be rude, it would be crude to go through it to that degree with you. But I want you, and this is going to be hard for you because I know how verbose you are, in less than a minute, give me that background story for those people that obviously they see you on Facebook, they see you on social interview, all these wonderful people there, but they're unaware of where you actually started. Just give us that bit of background, and then we'll dig into the detail afterwards.
Trained chartered surveyor. Did my 4 years. There was no jobs in surveying in '93. Went and joined an estate agents. Worked for the Halifax for many, many years. Went through all the ranks. Got to branch manager level. Then the Halifax sold their estate agency off to to LSL in 2008 when things went belly up.
Yep.
Went to work at an independent estate agents because it was a job. Then ended up at Belvoir selling their franchises. Worked with Belvoir selling shed loads of franchises. They gave me some offices to play with because I had this idea that you could attract landlords by talking about local property market, because I noticed some other Belvoirs have been doing that. We basically had those 4 branches organically growing by 20-30% in 12-18 months. Said I'm a bit bored of selling franchises. No, your job is selling franchises. I said, well, I actually want to do more of this. So I left, and basically 6 years ago decided to set up a company helping estate and letting agents attract landlords and vendors to their estate agency by ghostwriting content about their local property market, because local people are interested in the local property market.
Cool. Well, that's 2 minutes for a minute pitch, but I still...
Was it 2 minutes? No, it wasn't bloody 2 minutes, Whaley. Piss off.
I still appreciate you keeping it to the short version anyway. That's really, really good. And for anyone who hasn't done it, do go back and find the fact that, of course, Christopher Watkins has been on TV under that Halifax banner, haven't you?
I have. I was with Howard, the We Are Sailing advert, and they flew me and the wife out to New Zealand for me to be full center screen for 1 second, and it's me singing it as well. So there you go. Howard is a great showbiz mate of mine.
I was going to say, and Simon Whale gets castigated for doing a Brewster's Millions, and they do that for 1 second. But anyway, that's enough. There's your story. Well, look, the interesting thing for me is we do obviously hear you're doing your fantastic job. You know what a big fan I am of yours. When you're interrogating everyone else. Now, the problem with that, of course, as you famously say, you don't take any money from suppliers, and no one's paid you to say this and that and everything else. But clearly, you do need to make money from somewhere. And what I want to do today is to find out actually what Christopher Watkins' commercial business and what the application is, because I think it is just as interesting as the persona we see on TV, because it is after my own heart. So you spoke about those 4 offices. I think you were talking about that they were focused. Were they doing that themselves before you started doing it, or were you very much orchestrating that content?
There was 3 or 4 offices in the Belvoir network that were organically growing. So what I decided to do was, if I was going to sell more franchises, and the biggest fear of starting a letting agency is attracting landlords, is why don't I go and see the cream of the cream in the Belvoir network to find out what they were doing. There was one guy who was taking a full page in the local rag. Yeah. And I said, well, this was back in 2012. Local newspaper advertising doesn't work. We put a grid of properties. And he said, I have no properties to put in it. So I'd put stories of how I'd help landlords, how I'd help tenants, what was happening in the property market. Then there was this guy in Essex who got 33 properties in 1 month. And I said, so how did you do that? He said, social media. I said, so you can't get 33 properties from social media in a month. What he said is that he wrote this 8-page report on how the new dockyards at Tilbury would affect his nearby town. Yeah. He had this apprentice on, like what the equivalent of YTS, and basically got his YTS to send this Microsoft Word document individually to every single person on his LinkedIn database who he knew lived locally. What really happened was that those solicitors and accountants then forwarded it on to their clients because they thought it was interesting and wasn't a sales pitch.
So the Kevin Bacon effect in, literally series of connections there, and that piece found its own audience.
Yeah, and then there was this other guy in Northampton who every week would highlight the best buy-to-let deal there was, irrespective of which agent was selling it, and putting it into his blog. And by doing that, he'd attracted 185 properties in 3 years.
So you had this fantastic ideas magpie. You went out there and you saw all of these different angles.
Put them all together, systemized it, worked out how it all did, and then basically then took on 3 or 4 offices to see if we could replicate those ideas. And they worked.
And you went, bloody hell, it does work.
Yes, it does work. Because the magic thing is, Simon, is this: if you want someone to be attracted to you, you have to be attractive. And the best way you can do that is be interested in them first. Whilst most agents, all they do is talk about themselves.
Don't mention pie charts. You were banned from that. You're getting to be honest, you're getting a bit obsessed, like I am with Greg's. You're getting a bit obsessed with those, and you're getting a bit. But it's
truth hurts.
That self-aggrandizement, if that is a word, it can be problematic, can't it, if you take it too seriously?
I think the magic thing is this, is that we as human beings are at the center of our own universe, and what is important to us is important to us. And being number 1 in a town, or most pie charts, or whatever you want, is that of interest to you as a person? Yes, it is. But is it interested to everyone else in the town? And I would, instead of saying our pie chart's rubbish, what if a solicitor actually posted a pie chart saying, I've done the most conveyances this month?
I love that. If there's one way to slap yourself round the face, isn't it, to make you realise on that, that's it.
No, the magic thing is in this world, Simon, is this. And this obviously, this is, I put in brackets apart from you, because you are a, whatever you are, I can't come up with the word, but sex god, awesomeness, Leviathan, Big Cheese, the Zoomer Master, that basically all these amazing
words. Your half hour, I'm happy for you to use it like this.
Okay, then. The Bouffantmeister. And and people are only interested in themselves, and if you want someone to be attracted to you, you're interested. Get them to be. You are interested in them first, which means they become interested in you. They get to know you, like you, and trust you. And to be honest with you, the only thing that people are interested in is themselves, their family, their work, their money, their passions in life. Whatever they're interested in, my passions in life, my wife, my dog, my friends, work. Drinking craft beer, I'm a round tabler, I'm a Freemason, and I collect, as I said, antique whiskey. And after that, I don't give a shit about anything else. And that's the same with everybody in this world.
Although being a Freemason, you don't need to worry about the rest, because all the secret handshakes sort it all out for you, don't they?
It's just a glorified boys club where we get dressed up. It's that Boy Scouts meeting. It's okay, you can take the mickey you like, but I'm prepared to declare that. And you will be amazed how many estate agents are Freemasons. But that's not the point of this. The point is this, is if you want people to be attracted to you, you have to be attractive. So you do that by creating content which is of interest to them.
Well, let's come back to that, because there's a couple of things in terms of that angle. I was just about to say, I don't think we've ever spoke about this, so forgive me if we have done, but at the point I was an appalling software salesperson, which was for a very, very long period of time, famously hadn't had any estate agency experience apart from we called it the tour of duty, where I spent a month in a variety of different agents, which is a book in itself anyway. But I was ponkling around, if that is a phrase, for a long period of time, not even being particularly good at sales, particularly good at the technical side of things. But the minute where it twigged for me was where I started to get enough of the industry where I was empathizing with their issues, their challenges, and indeed, where I do disagree with you, I was able to see the passion when these people were winning things like awards and everything else themselves. And by being able to get involved with that, people could see there was a sincerity. And that really did become the tipping point for whatever I did elsewhere.
Okay, right. I think, okay, we do actually agree with each other. The magic thing is that, okay, if you've sold more houses than anyone else, if you have won more awards than anyone else, if you've worked harder than anyone else, does anybody care? No, they don't. But what they do care about is if you, this is where I think most agents go wrong, is that they make themselves the hero.
Never make yourself the hero.
No. In reality, what you do is you make the homeowner or the buyer or the agent the hero, and you're the guide. Or as I call it, you're Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're not Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And you can still tell the same story. Instead of whopping out a pie chart that says I sell more houses, than anyone else, why don't you say more people, and then tell the story of all the people that you've helped and all the challenges that you've gone through to get them from one house to the next. A story, because that's the best way to get inside a human's brain is a story. So tell a story where you're the guide, not the hero, and you'll win. And you can still get across the fact you sell the most houses. But lazy estate agents whacking a pie chart out, no. But tell a story about how the homeowner, you've changed someone's life, and now that they, a young couple that lived in St John's Wood had to move out. That you as an agent found them that 2-bedroom apartment in St John's Wood, and now they've been able to move back, and 6 months later their kid has gone to the new primary school and they've got tears in their eyes.
Yeah,
people are going to remember that, not the look at my pie chart.
Chris, thank you once more,
and thank you, Simon, for what you do for the industry as well.
Love you.